What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. This is the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juve. It is June 12th. I've got all the latest news around the club, and the day we have been waiting for has finally arrived. That's right, Motta Day is here. The official announcement of Thiago Motta as new manager for Juventus is expected later on today after the signing took place between he and Giuntoli in Portugal yesterday. It's also being reported that Motta is set to cut his vacation short to hit Continenza at the beginning of July and start to get used to life in Turin. All right, so Motta Day is here, and Giuntoli hard at work for this next manager at Juventus. As yesterday we heard the news about the Luiz Deal being at the final stages. Today we are hearing it is soon to be completed. All right, so Aston Villa has accepted McKennie and Ilin Jr. plus 18 million euros on top of that to see this one through. The agreement is there for Luiz and Juventus. Now we wait for McKennie, as apparently Ilin Jr. has a deal there and an agreement in place. All right, so the final pieces we're just waiting for, but that one is expected to be all systems go. This is a great move for Juve, not just on the pitch, but on the books as well, because before any fees are taken off of that, we see 40 million in capital between the two players heading over to Aston Villa. All right, so big one there. And we also hear that this move does not stop anything in terms of Giuntoli's advances for Coupe minors. All right, so also on top of that, apparently Giuntoli has laid the groundwork for Khéphren Thuram, and negotiations are expected to start as he's going into a final contract year with Nice. Now it's starting to sound like way too good to be true. All right, all these guys having some fees associated with them. How could we possibly make this move? Well, we haven't mentioned Adrien Rabiot. For me, Rabiot is still the wild card as he is on a free, okay? And we would get the growth decree benefits off of that. I'm not so sure we get Luiz, Coupe minors, and Khéphren Thuram while still renewing Rabiot. For me, Khéphren Thuram still seems like this alternative to Rabiot, but maybe we make way more sales. Tuttosport reports that this is the outgoing sales list for Giuntoli. Ilin Jr., who is already associated in this Luiz deal at 15 million euros. McKennie associated in the same deal, 30 million euros. Szczesny, 5 million euros. It's expected that he will agree to his move to Al Nassr. Then you have Chiesa at 40 million euros. You have Huijsen at 30 million, Keane at 20 million, Kostic at 10 million, and Sule at 40 million. If all of those moves are made at those values, that's 190 million in sales. However, I do not believe it's as reported for Tuttosport as his sales list. I believe this is his potential sales list. All right, and now when you start taking a look at one of the names on there as Chiesa, the latest is, well, one of his potential replacements, Greenwood. Apparently, Juve has an agreement in place with the player. Man U looking for 50 million euros, and Juve evaluating him at 30 million euros. Now, with Chiesa, we were also getting the rumors yesterday that he is intrigued by the Roma project and that he is going to have negotiations with Roma and look at a potential agreement there. Look, Roma isn't even intrigued by Roma's project. This is a power play, one coming from Giuntoli in terms of getting an agreement for Greenwood, and Chiesa's camp putting the rumor out there about the interest in Roma, because Napoli right now, their focus is on Kvaratskhelia, and they are not having any negotiations currently for Chiesa, and there's been no talks with Juve. So for me, it's his camp playing games, and also Giuntoli kind of putting that fear out there in Chiesa's camp that, look, we're ready to move on if we move you. So it's very convenient for me that these Greenwood rumors hit right before the meeting between Ramadani and Giuntoli. I stand firm. I stick with a guy like Mirko Di Natale in believing that the desire of Chiesa and Giuntoli and Juventus is to continue together. Just have an espresso, boys. Find that agreement and let's move forward. Now, in terms of Balzarini coming out and claiming that Berardi is close to Juve and finally has an agreement in place to join and wants to join. His desire is to come to Juve. I don't care what your desire is, Berardi, all right? I cannot see Giuntoli making this move for this player right now. There's too many options outside of that for Berardi, especially after this bad injury that he's gone through. I cannot see it. And thankfully, it's coming from Balzarini, all right? Now, in terms of Claudio Chiellini, it looks like he's taken a U-turn, kind of like Mattia Perin did, and he's expected to stay at next gen. For Montero, we still wait for the agreement for him to become next gen's next manager. That's a news break to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join our AJC army today, all right? But the best part, let's mix it up in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel about Motta Day finally being here? How do you feel about Giuntoli, who seems to be on an absolute tear? Hopefully, we get these moves completed, but that Luiz deal would be chef's kiss, all right? Let's mix it up in the comments. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.